What's up, y'all? It's Randy here. Welcome back again. Happy 2026. You know, a lot of y'all walking around in your truth. A lot of you walking around just loving who you are. You like yourself. You love who you are. You love how you look. You're in tune with yourself. You celebrate yourself in a way, right? I can say this because this is what I do. I love myself. I've grown to really just tap in and really love the being that God created me to be. And that energy is mirrored. I get mirrored that, right? I run into people that love me because I love myself. And same like you, right? But you don't understand how much you disturb some people by being authentic. See, when you're authentic, you learn to grow a strong sense of self respect to where the opinions of other people don't shape who you are. How other people see you doesn't alter or affect how you see yourself, right? You love you. And if people don't like you, that's their business. But sometimes you feel like you're targeted because of this. Sometimes you feel like, well, every time I run into these different groups of people, they might try to come up against me. They might go around and try to gossip when I just walked in the room and grab the beer. Or I just grab my drink and I started chilling. And then when you walk into a room, there's a person or a group of people that's disturbed by this. Because some people can't fathom living in a space spiritually, mentally, even emotionally, where you're just completely independent and you're not looking for nobody to like you. You're not looking for validation. You're just living in your truth and you love who you are, and how other people feel about you doesn't really affect your internal world. It doesn't affect how you see yourself. That's because you love yourself. But some people resent that about you. But in the resentment, there's like secret admiration. They haven't grown they haven't grown to develop that within themselves. A lot of people, what I realize is a lot of people walk around with this false sense of confidence. They puff themselves up and they try to act like they good and everything is fine and dandy and they're the best thing ever. They're the best thing since sliced bread. But underneath that is a lot of insecurities. Underneath that is I need the validation. Underneath that is I need a bunch of people around me like a boxer or a superstar for me to feel important. But you've learned to have that within yourself and by yourself, right? And because of that, you attract what's for you. You attract people that celebrate you because you celebrate yourself. Um, these people that come up against you, they really resent that because they reflect on that and say, damn, I don't have that. I wish I was like that. I wish I wasn't running around thirsty as hell, desperate for other people to like me so that I can kind of like myself, for other people to affirm me. A lot of people's confidence is predicated on the attention and the validation that they get from other people. So when they come across you, they're like, wait a minute, I never seen nothing like this before. Why aren't you like seeking approval? Why aren't you trying to be liked by everybody? Why aren't you kissing ass? Why aren't you, chasing up after people and trying to rub elbows and trying to fit in? Because you learn how to value yourself. Some of y'all learn how to get that to that place because you had no choice. Some of you were outcast or you didn't really rock with the people that you had around you. There wasn't a connection. So you said it's better off to be by myself than to be around miserable people or be around people that I don't really vibe with, where the energy isn't there, or they might be kind of shady, they might be kind of iffy, right? They may be moving kind of weird and you sensing weird energy to where you feel like some of these people might be backstabbing you, going around talking about you behind your back. So you say, you know what? I'm gonna kind of cleanse my circle a little bit and I'm gonna go on a journey where I go in some isolation where I'm not alone. I'm not lonely, but I'm alone. It's intentional solitude to where you just get in tune with yourself. You you just cleanse your circle, and that helps you cleansing your circle and getting into a place of solitude. What it does is it helps you to recalibrate yourself. You might have found yourself once upon a time in a place where you kind of seeking validation, where emotionally you were kind of codependent or dependent on other people for your confidence, right? For your self love in a sense. But when you got into that isolation, that all that just recalibrated within your system, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. And so you grown. It's a journey. You know what I mean? It's a journey. You've grown to love yourself. You've grown to not seek approval from people because people's opinions is like air. Everybody has an opinion, and your whole life shouldn't crumble or your entire life shouldn't shine just because somebody told you something positive about yourself or negative about yourself. Just their opinion, because some people are fickle, opinions could be fragile because a lot of people project. And you don't know, you can't depend on other people's opinion. The most important opinion is the one that you have about yourself. So you draw negative attention to you because of this. Some people, unfortunately, it almost like they never get to that point to where they're just independent. Where they love themselves and they value themselves and they have self-respect regardless of how anybody feels about them. Some people never get to that point. A lot of people don't get to that point. So they envy your independence, right? They can't understand. They're like, how can you live like that? Because if for them, if if people don't hit the like button, if people don't applaud them, if people aren't celebrating them, they'll lose their mind. It's almost like a person going without water for 5 days, a week. They would lose it. It's almost like dying. It's like they're literally dying if they don't get that. You'd be surprised. And so it gets twisted. When people realize, when they're frustrated that they don't possess that strength that you have, that sense of independence, when they realize that they're not being their authentic self because they're trying to mold themselves into what they think people would like so that they can be liked. When they resent that, you'll get attacked. People will gossip, people will try to isolate you, try to make it seem like something's wrong with you because they're trying to pull your frequency down. They're trying to really bring you down to their level. They want you to feel like something's wrong with you. They want you to feel that way. They want you to doubt yourself, question yourself. They want you to feel like, damn, why these group of people acting funny towards me and I'm just being myself. They want you to feel like something's wrong with you, and that's why they act in a certain way towards you or rejecting you or give you attitude. They're just trying to pull you down to their level. They're projecting their insecurities onto you because they feel that way. They feel insecure. They don't they doubt themselves. So they need other people around them to cure that doubt. They need other people's validation as a medicine to doubt. But you have healed all of that, right? You strengthen yourself, you're grounded, you're level-headed, and you know who you are, and you're not going to let the world or an individual alter or shift how you feel about yourself just because they ass don't like you. You know? So these people resent you. They're really a big fan of yours because they really wish they possessed that type of strength and that groundedness, but insecurities won't allow them to do so. Their lack of um commitment to being the best version of themselves doesn't allow them to do that. They so stuck on trying to fit in, trying to be cool, but when the attention goes away, some people I've seen it in my personal life, man. Some people lose their mind and they'll break all the way down when that stuff goes away. When they don't get a certain level of attention or they feel rejected, they'll turn into a whole nother person. All right. And that's why you get attacked. That's where the gossip is. That's why you get, the smear campaign, because they're gonna try to make people believe that this dude ain't as solid as he think he is. It's almost like you're too good to be true. This lady isn't as solid as she seemed to be. They're not that grounded. They're not that strong. They're not that secure. So they're gonna try to make you feel insecure, or they're gonna try to turn other people against you to make you feel insecure because they want to break that strong sense of self, the independence, the emotional independence, the groundedness, the high self confidence. Just being yourself and not trying to be a certain way, dress a certain way, and talk a certain way in order to get people to like you or in order to fit in or make friends or date. These people don't know about that world. It's like you're in a whole nother world and they want to destroy your world because they mad they haven't arrived to that place yet. And that's why you get attacked. That's why they don't like you, man, because you're authentic. That's why some people act so weird towards you. You haven't did anything to them. They hate you. They have a strong dislike for you. You never did nothing to them but say what's up, good morning, or whatever the case is. Be like, how can this person hate me so much? How can these group of people come up against me as if I stole something from them, as if I went into their grandmother's house and stole up all the food, right? As if I keyed their car or something, or you know what I'm saying? How can they have that love of hate because they envy the qualities that you possess and they hate what you represent? So in a large way, you disturb their demons because they wish they arrived to that place where you are. To them, it's almost like you're alien like because they can't imagine existing like that. But you really have the cure for the insecurities that they have. You really possess um the you are at the place where they want to be. But instead of befriending you and tapping in and picking your brain and you know what I mean, building with you so they can get some of that or learn how to become that, they'd rather go against you because ego and pride won't allow them to kind of humble themselves to learn from you. They'd rather try to destroy you because they don't want to do the work. They don't, first of all, they don't want to admit, they don't want to acknowledge, they don't have the sense of awareness to be man enough or woman enough to say, damn, I need to tighten up. I need to fix that. I need to learn how to be independent. It's like childlike. And so that's why some people like you for no reason. It's because what you represent and what you represent and your authenticity, your autonomy, your sense of independence, it reflects everything that they're not. So hit the like button. Tell me what you think about the video. Subscribe to the channel. Peace.